So, we've gotten sidetracked enough. How do we begin this?
So, with this general, just giant cluster, bleh, dealt with.
Hmm.
This is gonna be your guys' first foray into Graphoria. Yay!
Yay! Yippee!
Yay!
Some fun stuff.
Yippee!
So, as such, we first need to give some very brief context as to how each of you are here. Ortis, do you have, I'm guessing you have a backstory?
Yes, fully fleshed out even, you could say. So,
Okay.
Mortis, once a great hero to a, I guess, village, grew to fame, got married, but then was killed because along with fame comes a lot of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So he and his wife were both killed. Their home was burned down, everything stolen, gone forever. And they were left there to die on the mud. But somehow, Mortis comes back to life with 2 souls. Well, one being a ghost in his body, and him being the host for it. Parts of him are missing here and there. Half of his face is gone. But
Ooh.
it appears his limbs and face do appear, but in the form of a woman, half and half. So it's actually his wife's soul that is within him, sharing his body with him as they figure out what to do next, as they only have the memory of the faces of the people who ambushed them.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I think I can figure out a way to make you work. Yukito,
I don't think
please
my backstory would work.
give me give me like a snippet of like the general end of it. Like what are you doing?
end?
What is your
I guess
quest?
The thing that happened, I guess. Wait, how do I even pull my thing up? I was glancing. I completely forgot what I put for the backstory. So I guess the thing that kind of at the end of his backstory, I guess he was fighting some guy, and he was fighting some guy was about to like destroy the place, like the place he lives, and he was fighting him with his childhood friend. And I guess towards the end they got separated from each other. And so I guess that's like the main thing.
So trying to reconvene with an old friend.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Leanna, what you doing, girl?
Okay, so Leanna is a very straightforward character. She's got your standard, semi-tragic backstory where her father was never around, and her mother, shortly after, giving birth to her, realized that her health was fading fast, and she had basically nothing to leave her daughter with. So, in desperation, her mother took her to a monastery where she was taken in by the priests and clerics and raised as if, she were one of their own. And so now she has very strong attachment to her faith in... I know I selected Selune, but is that one allowed for this setting, or do I have to pick a different one?
For your character, I can actually allow it, though you'll be presented with some interesting challenges.
That is perfectly fine by Leanna, because even though she was raised without ever really knowing her parents and having no general direction, she retains a really cheery demeanor and tries to be helpful to everyone around her, partially because she feels obligated to repay all the kindness that they have shown her, and partially because she is just a really good person.
Deity, get a character quick. For 11 p.m. Go, go, go.
Speed run. Yeah, he's got
Perfect.
45 characters. Wait, what? 45?
Oh yeah, and also,
Nice.
am I supposed to be seeing Leanna at all in the active characters tab, because I don't see her anywhere.
Active character? You mean within No, you would not, because you did not have her added into the campaign. I just have her, as a. You just gave me a link to view her sheet. If you're planning on adding her to the campaign, then you're gonna want to click this.
Click this. Whatever this is.
Add her in.
Click on this.
Ah, yes. You see, that's what I was trying to do. I couldn't find the buttons, though. As you can tell, I'm very smart and know what I'm doing at all times.
At all times. For sure.
Okay, so with that, I can close that window, and I can refresh this one.
All right. So.
Oh yeah, I
Good
forgot.
being raised by clerics.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that after a certain point in her life, she would have started adventuring because she realized, oh, there's tons of people around that need help, and somebody's got to help them, so why can't it be me? So she basically just travels all over the place helping whoever she can, whenever she can. She's not the smartest, she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. But she means very well most of the time. She's smart enough to leverage her very noticeable charisma to kind of get people to do what she wants them to. Not like maliciously or anything. It's just that people seem to gravitate towards doing what she wants them to on account of she's really nice and really pretty. And they don't want to upset her, because who wants to have an upset small being? I say small, she's 6 feet tall.
A golden-hearted
+9
southern
persuasion.
belle.
That doobie right there, sugar. No, I can't do a southern accent and the female voice. It's got to be one or the other.
Southern accent.
Come on now, you can do a southern belle.
I can do southern just
Now,
fine, boy.
Now, come
put it
on,
in
honey. You
as
can do both.
belle.
I rolled persuasion
the opportunity.
23, now you have to do
Come
southern.
on.
It also just wouldn't make sense because she's not from the South, or whatever the equivalent of the South would be.
The South. What would
Okay.
the equivalent be?
So with this, I got some interesting things that we can do with this.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yay!
Interesting.
So we'll go ahead and start this. We'll introduce each of you guys in a specific order. But Leanna,
Mm-hmm.
before this, you had recently gone to bed, likely in out of an abandoned barn. You were kind of far away from civilization. You were traveling, we'll say, to like a nearby town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of struggling after a plague had swept through. And you're making your effort to, help tend to those still around. You've gone slept in a barn for the night.
Mm-hmm.
We start with you waking up. And immediately within the air, something smells different. Smells cleaner, fresher. Is looking around, you find that you are not in a barn. You are currently within an open field of wheat. Wheat being nearly as tall as you are standing. Well, when standing.
How did I get here?
Leanna kind of like looks at herself, like pats herself down, make sure she still has all her stuff.
You have all of your things.
Must have been a harmless prank. Although, who would play a prank like this? I don't see what's funny about it.
Mortis,
Yeah.
you are currently walking through this wheat field. Currently, likely in the midst of trying to, discover the location of where, these supposed, figures are from your memories. As you've kind of been searching the general region around the ruins that used to be your place of residence. Just increasing the search size each day. Today, you've spotted your first humanoid figure. And currently standing out in the middle of the wheat, looking around confused.
Who is that? You think
It was very
he's
quiet.
one of them?
I didn't hear it.
I couldn't hear you at all, Foket.
Should I
Okay,
turn
you
you
were
up?
speaking very
Did I
quietly.
turn you up in Discord?
Sorry. I can turn myself up, don't worry.
I put you to 110%.
Hmm? Who is that? Do you think it is one of them? No?
Would I hear this?
Okay.
I mean, Mortis, would you be saying this out loud?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then, most likely, then, Leanna, yes. You hear someone speaking to your left. And some slight
Speaking to your
rustling
left
amongst
ear.
the wheat.
Upon hearing that, Leanna, she's not really feeling any danger, so she's just gonna turn a little bit slowly and meet the gaze of Mortis and say,
Oh, are you the one who brought me out here?
Brought you here? Who are you?
Who
Uh,
you is, bruh?
I'm Leanna. Leanna Ravenfair. I'm not quite sure how I got here, but I was sleeping somewhere else before. Seems whatever happened in the night.
I do not recall your presence here.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure I'll figure it out. That being said, do you know the way back to town?
Would I know the way back to town?
Knowing the shattered state of your memories, likely not.
There is a town.
Well,
Leanna, like, places a hand on her chin.
I mean, there must be, but then again, I don't exactly know how far I was carried. So, I guess it's really up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, where you had originally gone to sleep, Leanna, there were no visible wheat fields anywhere.
Well, I guess I'll just have to pick a direction and stick with it.
Hmm.
Oh, oops. What is going
So-
on here?
You good?
Hmm.
Yeah, my internet's just being weird right now.
Okay. Gotta be sure. Okay, so from the sound of things, you're going to just start walking in a direction. Mortis, what are you doing?
Mortis will follow her,
Okay.
believing that she knows where she's going.
Leanna
Oh,
begins
boy.
walking south. That's what the D4 was for.
Okay.
Mortis follows a bit behind her.
Me
He will be
follow
speaking to himself.
Okay.
out
so-
loud, speaking to himself.
Yes, out loud.
So, as you go and start traveling south, you eventually spot, off in the distance, a very thin plume of smoke. Do
Mhm.
you go towards it, or do you just continue heading south?
Hmm.
Well, Leanna's very simple. So, plume of smoke equals fire, which means one of two things. Either someone's cooking and it's really good, or something's burning and it's really bad.
Cooking.
So, seeing a plume of smoke, she'll like point out to it
And say, I wonder what's going on over there. We should probably go check it out. Someone could be in danger.
and she'll take off running.
Mortis nods and slowly follows behind.
He's falling behind then.
Do we trust her?
Trust?
Yes.
If it's a question of trust, I will
We
tell you
shall
now.
see.
I will tell you now, Leanna, you would feel no ill will from her at all. She's not lying to you, and she doesn't look or sound like she's trying to deceive you. She's very forthright.
I mean, he can't tell. Or, well, they can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
So, from the sound of things, you guys make your way towards the plume of smoke. Yukito.
Hmm. Yukito. Me?
Yukito,
Yeah.
what did you do?
You are currently sitting within this very large wheat field after patting down a spot to sit, having made a small, very small encampment, more or less just to make some food.
Hmm. Ito. What kind of food?
You haven't ever had any good experience with cooking or anything along that line.
Mm.
But I mean, people eat random field mice. Probably.
Feel nice.
That's a thing that people do.
And it's just burning and squeaking.
I mean, it's dead.
And he did it while he was still alive.
But yes, as you are busy trying to figure out how exactly cooking a mouse works,
Hmm.
you hear rustling in the nearby wheat fields that surround you.
Hmm. Who's that?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Are you coming out of the wheat field?
Yeah, Leanna would basically just be emerging as she says this, just like,
If you're burned, I can heal you.
Oh, I think I'm fine, but I don't think I know how to cook too well.
Is that all? I think I can help with that.
Who are you, if I might ask?
I'm Leanna. I'm a cleric from one of the Selune monasteries. I don't quite know how I ended up here, but I'm here now, so I might as well help.
Oh, nice to meet you, Leanna. I'm Tsubasa Yukito. You could call me Yukito.
Hey, Yukito, do you mind rolling me a religion check?
Religion check. Where religion at?
it is
Roll.
towards the bottom of the
Roll
skills
total.
page.
Why so high? Am I good at religion? Apparently. Total 24.
Dang.
Hmm.
Oh,
So, Selune Monastery, you've never heard of a god called Selune? That is not a god that exists. you have a pretty decent knowledge on, the various gods of the world. They're pretty active.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard not to know about them. You have never heard of a god called Selune.
What's the one I chose? Loon, I think, is his. Or how do you spell it? Is it I-O-U-N or L-O-U-N?
Let's see. If that's
Faith.
Ione.
Yeah, I guess that's his. Faith.
hmm.
So I think she's lying now.
Not
Or telling
necessarily.
the truth.
Not necessarily.
Or I just never heard of that guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like I told Focat, like you feel no malice, no deceit from this woman. She's very much telling you the honest truth from her mind and heart.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of some advice here, Sophia, for someone playing D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Probably best not to describe how other people's characters feel.
True.
Ah,
I would
yeah.
still think it's kind of sus.
Yeah, that's fair. That's my bad.
She didn't jump out and like immediately attack him, so but he would still think it's kind of suspicious.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's the beginning of some, creative ploy,
Something like that.
something to lower his guard.
Yeah, normally I
Selena.
don't do that. I apologize.
Mhm. You're fine. You're fine.
You mentioned
So?
Selune. I haven't heard of Selune.
Truly? Well, I guess not everyone is familiar with the Moon Maiden, but that's alright.
The Moon Maiden. Yeah, I haven't heard of her.
Well, that's
Um,
fine. I
From
can
the
still help you
place
with,
I come from.
Hmm?
Oh,
My apologies, you go first.
where I... Oh, okay. From where I come from, I was born in a place up there. He points out
Leanna looks up,
his...
is somewhat bewildered by the statement as she sees no reason to distrust this person, so she just fully believes he was born in the sky.
A city,
Stares into the sun
a
for
city
while.
up in the sky called Starhaven.
So, is it made of actual star?
No. Think of it like a floating piece of earth.
Leanna thinks for a moment. Nods approvingly.
She thinks. Something she doesn't do too often, but she's not terrible at. But she's also not great at.
Yeah, exactly. She's very simple.
And I guess
She
he goes
uses
on a
those
little more.
lukewarm brain cells.
She thinks for a moment. That seems about right.
That's where I studied light and dark magic, like this. And he puts like a light in one hand and like I guess like a little orb of like dark magic in the other hand.
It's
Oh,
a miniature black hole.
It just sucks you
Becomes
in.
Gardevoir.
You just get sucked. Like what's his name? Like wind. What's that guy's name? He uses wind tunnel.
Miroku from Inuyasha.
Just sucks you in his hand.
Leanna sees this and is like clapping, like,
yay! That looks really nice. I can kind of do that.
she says, and casts light on her open palm, and it just kind of starts shining. Well, I guess not her
Oh.
palm, but like a gauntlet for her armor.
Oh, the gauntlet. Oh,
Yeah, the gauntlet starts
very
shining.
nice. That's nice. Are you a sorcerer as well?
Oh, no, I'm a cleric. Like I said, I was raised in the monastery of Salune, so I grew up with her teachings, and her power, at some point became my power.
Oh, a cleric.
So,
Mm,
I got a bit of some interesting questions for the two of you.
mm. What
Okay.
happened to Mortis? That's my question.
I'm guessing Mortis has just been watching this whole thing.
He's just listening.
He is approaching menacingly.
Do I trust them?
Maybe.
What gods do they speak of? Strange people.
You'd be very correct about that. Okay. So, I'm going to ask you some questions, Yukito, Leanna. Yukito,
Mm.
how would you say it looks when you cast your magic? Like, what's the general
like-
ebb and flow to it?
I would say since he's divine and he's got divine and whatchamacallit?
The
Twilight?
Twilight Domain?
Yeah, it's kind of, I guess, how do I describe? It's like more, I guess the divine light magic's a little more than the regular. It would almost have like this little radiating, like little yellow lightning effect in the light when he does it.
So, let me just give, for example. So, you had a moment where you made a small orb of darkness and an orb of light,
Mhm.
right? How exactly would you go about creating that orb of light and orb of darkness? Would you just like unfurl your hand and the orb would appear? Would there be any like motions you have to do, like you're doing some kind of ritual? How does it look for you to cast your magic?
I think he'd be able to do it at will. Like he'd undo his hands and they'd pop out.
Any visual effects on your body?
Kind of like half of him would be lit up and half of him would be like dark.
Okay.
Like half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be dark. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be dark. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of him would be lit up and half of him would be lit up. And half of and both sides, like the left side would be lit up, the right side would be dark when he does that.
Okay. So half your body kind of gives like a faint glow, while the other half gets like a bit dimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Liana,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you the same question. How does it look for you to cast your magic?
It's pretty standard stuff. Leanna basically just like uses her she has like a holy symbol around her waist, kind of tied there. And when she casts her magic of Salune, obviously it shimmers with a radiance not unlike that of the midnight moon. And it kind of like whenever she casts, like that shimmers and sort of, it's almost like a breeze is pushing it in every kind of direction. And as for like her hands themselves, they just kind of manifest whatever is the intended result. So obviously she cast the light cantrip, so that thing started shining, and what she did was basically she touched the center like moon piece and just transferred that light to her hand.
Okay. Okay. So there's no like bodily changes to it. It's more or less like a prayer, I guess.
Yeah,
From the sound of things.
pretty much. There's nothing particularly fancy with it.
Yeah, she gives like a brief prayer and the thing does the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I will say for each of you alike, neither of you would have ever seen magic done this way.
Leanna
This would be something new.
Leanna thinks this is weird, but accepts it anyway.
True, I think Yukito doesn't think she's hostile at all. Do we notice someone lurking in the bushes?
No. There's
I-
no one lurk. I mean, there's.
Where is he at?
You talk about Mortis. I think he's with you guys. I don't think he's been hiding in the bush.
Wait, he's out of the bed. Thought he was
just
hiding.
standing behind Ariana, just
Whoa.
talking to himself. These people
Who?
are really strange.
Who are you? He notices.
Yes, by all means, please introduce yourself.
We are Mortis.
Leanna kind of
Mortis.
cocks her head to one side whenever Mortis says we are Mortis. But
We are Venom.
but then kind of shakes it off and is just like,
Well, if that's who you are, then that's who you are.
Yes.
Right.
I am-
Mortis. Nice to meet you, Mortis. I'm Yukito. Yukito Tsubasa.
What a wondrous time. We've become so well acquainted with each other.
Leanna says, like very lightly clapping.
I don't think we know each other that well.
But we've met, and that's something worth celebrating.
Right.
That being said,
Such a beam of positivity.
perhaps you would be able to help me, Mr. Tsubasa.
What would you need help with?
I was wondering
Where
if...
are we?
Yeah, that. If you could give directions to the nearest town, if you know where it is, I would be ever so appreciative of that.
Would I know that?
So, I was gonna say, Yukito, you're kind of in a similar situation to Leanna, in the fact that just like 2 days ago, you were out exploring in the middle of this somewhat mountainous region, for your dear companion,
Hmm.
before eventually you had to go and make camp for the night.
Hmm.
You got everything set up, went to bed underneath the night sky. And when you woke up, you were currently sleeping in the middle of a wheat field.
Hmm.
You've not been able to find out how you were transported to a wheat field, or even what else is in this gosh dang wheat field, because it has seemed to continue on for what feels like forever. Everything looks the same, and there is little to no variation in the terrain.
So his first idea was to
Should've
make
taken a
breakfast.
location spell.
I mean, eventually, 2 days later, you need to eat.
Hmm.
So it seems we're
mean,
in the same
It's a
boat.
wheat field. We have tons of rice.
True. Just get the wheat.
Just grind it, some water. We'll be good.
Eat the raw wheat.
Oh no.
Time to eat some raw wheat.
How is that? What was it? A rat? You said that.
It's a mouse. It's a field mouse.
Okay. How is
burned.
that mouse looking since Yukito started cooking it?
It
Done.
Bird.
it looks like it has. Honestly, when you first glanced at it, you didn't even realize it was a mouse. You thought it was a piece of coal.
It's completely
It's
gone.
turned to ashes at this point.
Now it's just a fire.
Forgive me for being presumptuous, but if it's food you need, I'd be more than willing to share some of mine with you.
Oh, definitely. I'm starving.
Leanna reaches into her backpack and takes out a portion of rations and hands it to Yukito.
Just grabs it right away and starts eating it. Thank you. I was starving and I can't
Note
cook.
the cell. Keep this one out of kitchen.
It's all right. I can handle any cooking that comes up in the future. I'm quite adept at it, if I do say so myself.
Oh,
Note the cell.
nice.
This one stays in kitchen.
Yes. Let's keep her in the kitchen. Wow.
Yeah.
D&D.
Now you
Yeah, man, you guys, we are so inclusive.
Leanna, not knowing any better, simply says,
Yes, I'm more than happy to handle the cooking.
I even have this. She reaches over, unsheaths flame greatsword.
flame greatsword.
Yeah.
It's a greatsword that's on fire.
Greatsword.
It's a greatsword that's on
flame.
fire.
Well, it's a greatsword that can be on fire.
Well,
Did
for
you
the sake
set it
of
on
for the sake
fire?
of this joke, it's on fire.
It's on.
Although, we might need to find something bigger if I want to use this to cook it.
He
Look
looks
at
up.
the way.
That's a nice weapon. Flames. Oh, flames. Remind
Put it away. You are going
Reminds
to
me of
set
my
us
friend.
ablaze.
Oh, right. My apologies.
She puts the sword away.
Still on fire.
it's still on fire. Right. So it seems we're all in the same boat. Maybe we could find somewhere. Because we're in the middle of nowhere.
Mm. I mean, I had a
Okay,
similar
guys.
thought, but
There
how
should
would
be
we go about navigating this
civilization.
place?
Start building a totem. Guys, climb up on me.
totem.
Liana will be at the top. What do you see, Leon?
Quite
Do
an
we notice
interesting
anything
first
around,
predicament.
or is it just like all weed everywhere?
Let's see.
Where exactly are you?
We're in a sea of wheat.
Currently, yes.
I don't think we could see any. I think we go in a direction and walk. That's all we can do.
We're
Do
gonna
we-
launch game, and it's just yellow. That's it.
It's just yellow.
Is there anything around that looks like it could be a vantage point, like a tree or something?
Roll me perception.
Hey,
Ooh, I'm gonna give- can I
Leanna's
give
pretty good at that.
guidance? Can I give guidance?
If you wish to cast guidance, I will allow it.
He's casting guidance.
Woo!
Okay.
Can I help?
That. Time to roll a d4.
Yeah. I
Help,
kind of like
action, and
this in allowing them to look around. Yes.
Okay, so does an
So-
11 total get me anything?
Well, Mortis is helping you, so you have the set advantage.
Oh, sweet.
One more.
Helping by lifting her up so she can see
Nice.
better.
Okay,
So
so
13 plus
that would be
guidance.
plus 3, so 16 total.
16 total. So Mortis, goes over and starts just hoisting you up, trying to give you a better vantage point to look across, all the wheat.
Whoa! Oh, actually, that helps a lot. Thank you, Mortis.
Do you see anything up there?
Do
As you begin to look around, it's almost dizzying just how far the wheat field stretches. Like, have you ever had one of those things where you see something stretch to the horizon
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and there's like little to no variation along the way?
It's nothing infinite wheat works.
Who's doing this?
There's enough wheat going off in almost every direction that you could almost see the general curvature of the planet. But
What?
Who has the time to do, like, who's gonna harvest all this wheat? Oh my god.
Man, whoever owns this field must be a very wealthy farmer.
as eventually you do see way off in the distance that of what seem to be some towers. Similar in style to that of a very classical wizard's tower. Made of stone, circular. They kind of climb upwards and start bending in strange directions, eventually ending in like a pointed roof. You see multiple of those off in the far off in the distance, seeming to be in the sort of west, direction.
Wow. You were going the wrong way.
Well, from what I can see, which isn't much, I think that way's our best bet. I see something really far away, though.
That way. Oh.
Yeah, looks like, 2 towers.
It's actually more than 2.
Two
Well,
towers?
Well, maybe
You just
more than
stayed
2.
at 2 towers.
Maybe more than 2.
More
I can't
than-
exactly... I can't get an accurate count up here. But we have a direction, so might as well go to it.
It's like, looks like we'll check that out. Let's go.
Mortis will set her down and unsheath his blade just so he can like cut through the wheat.
Like a machete. Should use the flame. Burn all the wheat down with the flame grates.
You see, Leanna would do
Remember,
that, but
we're in it.
Leanna would do that, but she's very naive and firmly believes that a single farmer owns all of this wheat, so that would be rude.
Just causes a mass fire.
You're gonna cause a famine.
I wonder if the
So-
farmer owns a bakery.
Hmm.
So with that, you begin to, guessing with that, you guys starting to go in the westward direction.
Yes, towards the towers.
Adventure. Adventure
Okay.
time.
You could have
So-
just said twin towers, but the ooh, bad joke.
That's why I tried to, be sure to tell you it's more than two.
More than two.
I think Discord cut out when you said more than two, because I only heard two. That's why I said two.
Two.
How dare you, Discord?
Discord's trying to set up jokes.
I heard you say more than two.
I definitively did not, but that's beside the point. We're
I
off.
mean, you have weird internet right now, so
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of wheat.
Time for adventure.
So, with this, it is going to take multiple days travel to get there.
Multiple time skip.
Would
Yeah. I would
Unless
like
we
to
run into
request
something.
each of you. Actually, no, Mortis, I don't need you to roll me this unless you plan on assisting the two of them. But
Mortis?
do you mind rolling me a survival check?
Oh, no.
Me?
Am I good at survival?
I hope you are, because I'm not.
Can I guide myself with the survival check?
There's got to be something I can do. Can I?
Okay, so 14, and what do I get? How do I determine what the guidance gives again?
It's a 1d4.
You add a D4 to it.
D4.
It'll be the bottommost option. That looks like a pyramid.
Oh, I see. D4, so it'll add, so 4 total 18.
Okay. 18. Leanna?
I guess I'll just roll it because my survival's bad anyway.
Mm-hmm.
14 as well. But that's with a +2, so that's all I get.
Okay, so 14. Mortis, would you be joining them or not? Considering you do not, you don't really need to eat.
Yeah, I don't think I. Yeah, I don't need to eat, drink, or breathe, or sleep.
He's the undead.
Magic can't put you to sleep.
Mortis
You can
is.
finish long rest in 4 hours if you spend those hours in an inactive, motionless state during which you retain consciousness. Just stares at people while they
He
sleep.
sleeps with one eye. He sleeps with both eyes open.
No, he doesn't sleep, period. He's conscious.
His eyes are just like,
Staring.
really picturing like really
He just
wide
stops
eyes.
doing stuff for 4
Just
hours.
Yes, he's just sitting
Mort.
there for 4 hours in silence.
Like-
Mortis
no
exists.
eyelid, just
This is
staring.
fine.
When will they
Someone tries
wake
to
up
interrupt
already?
Mortis, he just slightly tilts his head. It's like, can you not tell that I am trying to rest?
It's more of when will they wake up already?
I mean, it's clear that you need to. Well, I guess if anything, a long rest would still allow you to recover health and stuff
Hmm.
and spell slots. So I guess if anything, it's just more of a case of, shh, I'm fixing my body,
His body's falling
and you're
apart.
ruining my concentration.
Shh, I need to focus to stay awake. Be quiet.
All right. Either way,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
so with you both getting 14s, you do manage to. You manage to hunt down some food for 2 of the days spent trying to go over to these towers.
Hmm.
Though
Yay.
for one of those days, you come up short and have to use a ration.
Hmm.
Goodbye, rations. I knew ye well.
Ration gone. Do I even have rations?
Yes, you do.
That just makes it extra funny.
Do I have rations?
I do have rations.
No.
Yes, you
Oh,
do.
wait. I do have rations and water skin that I don't need.
Mhm.
I'm gonna use up a ration.
Knowing your character, those rations are very bad.
Probably.
Probably.
Oh no.
Somehow the water
Let's say
is
he
the
doesn't
water is
use
also
up a
bad.
ration.
I mean, that wouldn't be too hard to say considering how he died.
There's just bacteria and mold on it. And it's just. Is that why people stay away from me? Oh.
No.
Man does not have a sense of smell.
Oh no.
All right.
Could you imagine walking around like a normal dude, not realizing you literally
I
smell like a
mean,
rotting corpse
He
because you
he
are
is
one?
a corpse.
Yeah.
Smells like rotting corpse. Does he actually smell like rotting corpse? We should
he is a corpse
we
'cause,
should be
like-
noticing that.
his
Like-
like half of his face is missing, but it's replaced by an ethereal, version of his wife's face.
Oh.
So there's bits of long hair here and there.
Mm-hmm. Damn, you didn't do description.
Yeah, I didn't get the time because everybody needs to be introduced.
Mhm.
True, I would have said more stuff if I noticed all that.
Mhm. I mean, you
I'm
could
undead.
say stuff, along the way, as you would definitely
Yeah.
have plenty of time to notice.
Yeah. Leanna won't say much because she already noticed but didn't pay it any mind.
You didn't pay the rotting that he's like an undead guy. Seems normal to me.
I've seen a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life. This is nothing out of the ordinary.
I don't think Yukito would be. He's more like grew up like a scholar type person. You wouldn't have ever seen any of that.
Well, as you all continue making your way, eventually you start to notice the wheat fields kind of getting shorter,
Mhm.
not as ridiculously tall. You can actually see past the wheat now.
Hmm.
As you start coming up into what looks like a small village
Hmm.
with various buildings similar to style to these sort of wizard towers that are decorating the place,
Mm.
but like significantly smaller, like the size of cottages, while still looking like a stumpy wizard's tower.
Hmm.
Hmm. I've never seen anything like this. What about either of you?
Where are we?
I haven't seen this before, but these towers. I had something similar to this back where I was from.
Well, if it's familiar, then it must be safe.
Leanna will walk up to. Is there a door?
That
I mean,
is
there are
some
plenty of
mental
doors. There's plenty of
gymnastics.
buildings here.
Building. What
She-
kind of
she'll
buildings
find-
do we notice?
She'll find like the nearest tower, I guess, and just walk up to it.
I,
Then you're just immediately going for the tower.
I mean, yeah, there's at least 8 different like super tall towers. There are several, smaller buildings that are, designed like a tower, but they're kind of stumpy,
Mm,
about the size of a cottage.
Just
That
ignore
is
that.
that is like some mental gymnastics. These are familiar, therefore it's safe.
If it's
past
familiar
that,
to one person, it must be safe.
Sure.
Past that, there are out of a few other buildings that are a bit stranger. They're well, I say stranger, but more actually just normal shaped. You've got that a rather large rectangular building with that of some large double glass doors in the front, leading into some sort of just large room, if anything. As well as near the edge of town, you can see what looks like a relatively small house made out of a seemingly some sort of pink crystal.
House made out of a pink crystal. Is that one like standing out the most?
I mean, it's definitely the most different. It's also separated from all of the other buildings here.
That. Hey, Leanna, look at that over there. That pink crystal building.
Oh my,
That
that's
one
quite pretty.
seems the most interesting. Wonder what could be in there.
Hmm.
Do we notice anyone around, or is it like a ghost town?
I was just about to ask.
So looking around, you don't see anybody.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Uh,
There's
the door that I walked up to, the closest one. Can I just knock on it and see if anyone's home?
Yeah. So you go to one of the closest little buildings. You kind of go and start knocking on the door. This one is kind of the stumpiest of all of the little buildings here. Like, if a lot of these buildings look like miniature versions of a wizard's tower, this is the shortest of them. With a roof that looks like it's partially collapsed. You knock on the door, and suddenly the sound of glass bottles breaking on the other side.
Hello?
what?
Are you all right in there?
There's a moment that passes before the door suddenly swings open, revealing it's kind of a peculiarity of a man. You see that of a rather young-looking fellow, maybe in his late 20s, maybe, wearing that of all gray robes, wizard robes, most likely, with that of a very classical pointed wizard's hat. A little bit of some stubble on his chin as he looks at all of you. Oh, hey. Greetings. Wow, we don't get guests around here very much.
Oh, in that case, I'm very happy to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Are you the farmer of this land?
Farm? Oh, wow, you're really not from here. No, no. The wheat fields are natural. They've always been like this.
Oh,
They don't really belong to anybody.
Well, I guess there's no bakery then.
I mean, we have a bakery. It's over there. He points to just another one of the random nondescript houses.
Oh, then I'll be sure to check it out. Before I do, though, perhaps you'd be able to enlighten me.
I mean,
enlighten me
sure,
with
I guess. I mean, he kind of fills around with his words for a minute. It's like, yeah, I can do that. He goes and leans against his door, like seemingly trying to look cool before the door leans back a bit further and he almost stumbles onto the ground trying to catch himself.
Ooh.
Man, this
This is an
19
invitation to his home.
this 19 charisma is really putting in work. Leanna is just so pretty, he can't help but try to impress her.
Too pretty.
Since the door is now open, Mortis will actually just walk inside, believing it is an invitation.
All right. So as you walk past Leanna and this man, he kind of looks to you walking into his house. Is like, okay. Watch your step. There's broken glass, and I guess try and find anywhere to sit. I guess.
Oh, were you inviting us in?
I mean, I could only really invite one of you at a time, and I'd have to stand outside, so... Yeah, Mortis, the minute you step inside, it's like trying to purpose a broom closet to accommodate an entire household.
Mm-hmm. Wait, isn't Mortis really tall? I forget how big he
He's 6'7".
is. Is he like...
Mortis, you are taller than this building.
I don't think he could... Was he getting in?
What about Leanna?
I mean,
she's
he's still inside.
She's 6 feet. Is she also taller than the building?
Yes.
Yeah, you're both way bigger than me. I think I'm like average.
Like,
Five.
this building measures up to about 5'9".
Then I could shit in there easy.
So
Is
Leanna,
Mortis like crouching and shoving his body in there?
Yes.
Mortis, hanging out within this building, you're taking up a good 85% of the available space.
He's just like
you're,
crouched.
you're taking up a good all of it.
How small is this person?
They are currently standing at 5'2".
Short King, let's go.
Okay,
Kind of like
hold
that
on.
fling
So they're at 5'2", and this is basically one entire room.
Yes. It is... there is stuff kind of stacked up haphazardly all over the room.
And
It
everything
looks-
all down now.
looks somewhat maintained, but it, even at his height, it looks like it would be a miserable existence. Like, you wouldn't have any space, like, with how tall he is, he wouldn't have any space to stretch his legs when going to bed.
Mortis steps out. Where are we?
How does he just step out? You mean he like struggles and
Yes,
He like shimmies out.
basic.
and all the stuff breaks?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
more
mean,
glass on the floor.
Yeah, more bottles smash against the ground. It's like, oh, that's
Ooh,
that
the
that's
bourbon I left for 40 years. Ugh.
Damn.
that's
The
unfortunate.
limited edition bourbon.
I
No,
don't think
not my 10-year whiskey.
Damn.
I don't think I can afford more glass.
Oh, I'd be more than happy to cover the damages.
Leanna like reaches into her coin pouch and pulls out 2 gold pieces.
Thank you. That's very generous of you.
We came to this house thinking it was a crystal. It's just bottle.
No,
You
this
guys
isn't
haven't
the.
even made it over to the
Yeah,
crystal house.
we're not at the Crystal House yet. This is the first. This is just the first house that Leanna walked up to.
This is the bottle house. Okay, got it.
This is just a very tiny house.
I
Oh,
guess
poor
Sukov
man.
is gonna ask for his name.
As well, he asked, where are we? But before he goes to answer your question, as he takes, your coins, Leanna, he kind of looks him over like, huh, I've never seen coins with designs like this.
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, typically, gold coins, have this little design of usually whatever kingdom they're from. I've never seen, coins with, like these.
Well,
Where are you from?
I come from a monastery of Selune in, let me think. It wasn't Waterdeep.
Thinking.
As you're saying these terms, he's kind of raising his eyebrow.
You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I actually know the name of the town I come from.
Selune. Waterdeep. I have never heard of either of these things. Huh.
Well, that definitely strikes Leanna as weird. She could understand people not hearing of Selune, but Waterdeep's pretty well known.
Deep. Have I heard of Waterdeep?
No.
What is water deep?
Waterdeep? I haven't heard of that either. Where's Waterdeep?
Oh, Waterdeep's a really big city. It's located, it's located...
Leanna realizes she doesn't know exactly where Waterdeep is located or how to describe it, so she's just like,
no,
It's a really big city. I'm sorry,
a really big city.
I'm sorry, I'm not very good with directions or locations or a lot of things, really, but...
this whole situation
why we're here.
has Leanna like weirded out in a sense. Is there anything that is there anything based on the interactions she's had that she'd be able to discern about her situation?
Okay. Rephrase that?
Based on
Rephrasing?
the information that Leanna has taken in, is there any reasonable conclusion that she would be able to come to on like regarding where she is?
In regards to that, I'm not even sure what kind of role I would have you take for something like that.
We could just
I think
ask
I
that
might
guy.
just have to
Where
leave
are
that
we-
to be more to you coming to some sort of conclusion.
We could just ask this
in
guy.
that case, Leanna is going to look at this person and ask,
The name of...
Faerun is the name of the realm, not necessarily like a landmass, right?
Favorite.
Yeah, the Faerun is the name of the setting.
Yeah.
We
Forgotten
are...
Realms, technically, but yeah.
We
Faerun.
are in Faerun, right?
Kind of raises an eyebrow at that. Faerun? I mean, you're in the town of Thalumbra, you know, great wizarding city within the world of Graphoria.
Graphoria?
I haven't heard
I
that.
will say, for you, Yukito, you've never heard of Faerun or Graphoria.
I'm guessing the
what of
same rings true
Mortis?
for Leanna.
Wait, where?
I mean, yeah, you've never heard of Graphoria, Leanna.
What about Mortis?
I mean, Mortis hadn't heard of anything anywhere. Everything is new for Mortis.
Yes, that's right. I don't
Hmm.
have memories.
Okay.
I forgot.
Okay, so
You
in
have to
this
make memory.
in this situation, I'm gonna have Leanna make an intelligence check to determine if she can figure out what's going on.
Guides the intelligence check.
So,
Nah.
I see what you're wanting to do. Okay.
A 7.
Nope. She
Oh no,
has no clue.
it wouldn't matter either way.
Leanna, none of this is making sense. This is like the single, greatest prank ever. Or you've gone insane. One of the two. You could be dead. It's also possible.
Well, looking at all of the information and my situation as a whole, this must be a really elaborate prank.
Right.
It kind of raises an eyebrow about as far as he can at this point, considering everything you guys have been saying has been raising his eyebrow.
I must say,
Prank?
yes, a prank. And I must admit, I admire your commitment to it. Although, it still doesn't answer the question of where I am. So,
Yeah,
Hmm.
you're in the town of Thalumbra. We're a wizarding town. Usually wizards like to spend their days, isolated from people so they can study. But some wizards back in the day realized that was dumb and decided to make a community. They leave each other alone unless absolutely necessary, but it allows people to have peace and quiet, while still being able to converse with their neighbors if needed.
I see. Well, in that case, we might as well have a look around.
Sure. Just don't interrupt the people with the really big towers. Those are people that are very skilled at their craft, and they tend to be a little grumpy if you disturb them while they're working on something.
All right.
That means we shall.
Do you know what that pink building is?
Oh, that? That's what's the material called? It's this odd little building that one of our stranger guests had come and set up. It's a bit of a fairy type person, I guess.
Fairy type person. Maybe we might check it out and meet them.
Fairy type Pokemon?
Fairy type. It's a Pokemon in there.
They don't
It's
really
Pikachu.
interact with the rest of us too much, but supposedly they had set up some sort of contraption with a associate I worked with a long time ago.
So far from what I could gather, this seems like a whole new world. I'm not familiar with this place at all. I don't even know where I am.
Making another intelligence check for Leanna.
5.
Another world? Well, I guess we can't rule anything out, but that seems a bit ridiculous, don't you think? Who would go to the elaborate trouble of pranking me by sending me to another world?
Huh. A prank. I don't think this. It's all a prank.
Oh, sorry. That was.
Can I persuade Leanna to think that it's not a prank?
You can.
I mean, I don't think. Oh, well played, Sophia.
You, if you want
Oh,
to try,
played.
if you want to try and persuade her to be my guest,
Let's see. I might go for
Oh, that was well done.
it. He's like really confused after you say that.
It's like following along the train of logic. Okay, that makes sense.
What?
Oh, wait.
I don't think this is a prank.
But if not a prank, what else could it be?
Like this is real. I don't recognize any of this. Like, are we on
It's like,
another
I don't think you
continent
understand
or
that's not
It
what
could be
they're
prank.
thinking the prank is.
maybe we
Because
all, or at least we got transported somewhere.
is this
this
your?
is the way it was
Is this-
described.
Is this your first time in a prank?
Freaking
First time in Is that
the way it
Mort-
was
would
described for
Mortis say
Leanna.
that?
She at this point understands she was transported to another world, but believes that in and of itself
Is the
a
prank.
prank.
Exactly.
Yeah, so she understands, like, I'm in an entirely different world. That's a lot to do for a prank.
My, the young ones at the monastery
not-
are getting quite creative, aren't they?
It's not the idea that, this other world itself is the prank. The idea is even being here is the prank.
The fact that
She believes she's in another world, all right?
the other world is the prank itself. Oh no.
So, was your whole spiel before your attempt at persuasion?
Yeah, it didn't work.
I wouldn't say that. Go ahead and roll persuasion, and I'll roll insight.
Try to roll for it.
Or actually, would
I'll do
it be insight for seeing through persuasion?
I mean...
Persuade. Oh yeah, I still. Do I still have guidance or?
Because you're basically trying to convince Leanna that this isn't a prank. So yeah,
I
go.
don't know if Let's see. I will roll it with guidance.
Let me see.
Plus 14 plus 2, total 16.
If you're doing it with guidance, don't forget your D4.
I rolled it.
Oh, you did. Okay.
That's with a D4.
Okay. I'm rolling. I'm rolling insight. What was your total, Lumi?
What? I already forgot. Where did it go? Game log.
Because I got a 16.
Wait, we got the same. Wait, how do we do this? How do we do the tiebreaker?
So, so basically, you tell Leanna that this is most definitely not a prank, and that we are definitely in another world through some unknown means. And she's nodding along, listening to what you're saying.
I don't think we have enough evidence to draw a definitive conclusion.
She's kind of in the middle. That's not bad, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, mission success.
You made progress?
You might have made progress.
Sorta.
Maybe.
Mayhap.
It could go either way, honestly.
Possibly? Little hard to tell.
I think the only way we'll be able to say one way or the other is if we continue investigating. So,
She points to the crystal house.
let's start over there.
Right. That seems interesting, that pink house. Let's go. They arrive at the pink house.
Have a good day, Mr. Wizard, sir. Sorry about your bottles.
Is Mortis coming along?
Yeah, that's fine. Hmm. Hmm.
Just broke all his stuff.
Shambles into man's entire home, breaks his stuff, leaves.
Broke all his collector's items.
Oh man,
The
my
man was a
mint
super nerd.
my mint condition Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Do you have any idea how much that original print Blue Eyes is worth now?
Damn, it's gone. Shattered the whole display it was in.
Dang. Poor display. But either way, give me a brief second. I must vanish for a second.
Vanish.
Oh no.
It is 11:05. Will Deity be joining us?
Can I just say, I'm having a lot of fun playing a relatively stupid character.
Damn.
Hey, how do you think I
Right.
felt with Noodle Boops?
Because, like, she's like, perceptive and is able to, like, read situations and people's emotions, like, decently well. But when it comes to actually knowing things, she's only slightly smarter than the average person. Or, like, the average
That's it.
adventurer.
I'm glad I have +9 persuasion to persuade.
It didn't matter. She matched you somehow.
Yeah, oh yeah. It was 16 and 16.
If I had had guidance, that meant I would have beat you and would have then
Oh, no.
therefore been like, she would have then therefore been like,
Nah, this is definitely a prank. It's something about it just seems familiar.
Imagine we actually find out it's a prank. It is a prank.
that's the grand reveal, is that the kids that she takes care of at the monastery somehow managed to dimension warp her.
Dimension warp, and with 2 other people.
It's a really elaborate prank, you see. Oh my god, that was so funny.
What's the pink? I want to know what the pink crystal is. So,
Okay.
wizard?
I am back.
Welcome back.
Oh, I guess
Oh,
Polecat.
Polecat had to
Polecat
step away
gone.
for a minute.
Mortis gone.
Dang.
Now who are we gonna get to shamble into people's houses?
Alright, so
He's gonna break all the house.
So which house is next?
Oh no. How big would you say that this pink crystal house is?
I would say, it's actually a reasonable size. Like it's
More than
nothing
16.
quite like freaking what was it? It's nothing like the tiny itty bitty space that was that the other wizard guy's house. I would say
He was a wizard.
he was.
Yep.
Dressed like one too. Da, 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 da. Do I really not have that saved? I really do not have that saved. How
We need a guide. Deity, come back.
Yeah, why do you want Deity?
I don't know.
Where are you at, Deity?
Maybe Deity will appear.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like chaos, you know? Chaos. Chaos is fun.
What do you want? me to
Chaos.
do? He's here. Want me to wander with? Yes, it's time to wander. That's it. Deity's the
Join
one.
us.
Deity's the one in the pink house.
We need a high int character to steer the party.
Am I high?
Like,
Heck no.
I'm already all
at least-
muscle.
At least I have 13 intelligence.
Yep. You're
Alright.
you're smarter than Lyra.
I mean,
Not exactly a high bar.
Deity, are you alive and capable of doing things? I see you within the chat. Floating
Wander
about.
with?
They're dead. I killed them.
God, he's dead. Well,
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da,
he's
da.
here. Answered.
There it is. I see.
I see.
All right. I think we are good.
It's I have to say it's an interesting it's interesting to play like a lower int character, not necessarily low.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's levels of wit and jokes that I can't make with Leanna because I don't think she would have the capacity to make them.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and ask, since it is time, and I think Deity is around.
Oh.
Deity, do you wish to join this group of wandering folks?
Group of
Wandering misfits.
The wandering
One
one
of
brain
them.
cell.
One of them's deluded.
It is all it's just a prank, bro. The camera's right there.
Oh no.
Greetings, we are Un Brain Cell.
Together we sort of can form one brain cell.
It's more like 3/4 brain cell because Leanna has the last quarter, but she wandered off somewhere.
You have -5 negative brain cell, -5. Oh no.
All right. Well, with that, let me go and I need to do you. I need to do you. I need to find where is he? Where in the world?
Wyrmst.
Where is the fella?
You people. Wait, did
You.
Deity meet Folcat and Sophia? I don't think so.
Where?
All right.
It's been a while since I've been on your stream specifically, so I don't remember.
Huh? Moving call.
We've done it. We've made it to the call.
Sure. And then he was not.
Except Pokemon
Anyway,
for some reason.
Deity!
How's it going, Deity?
I welcome
Been a
you.
while.
Welcome you, Deity.
I live. Hi.
Lives.
Welcome to Stream, Deity.
Welcome.
I appreciate being here.
Yeah, somehow you wormed your way into getting some Graphoria stuff because of these guys.
Hell yeah.
How did you do it?
Just
Because
How
I'm
did you
good
put
like
that into
that.
the world to influence these guys to choose the Graphoria option?
Hey,
oh,
if you won't give me Graphoria, I'll do it through proxy.
I have two players who are hounding me to continue Graphoria content.
I'm one of them.
I mentioned before, apparently it's my best work, but whatever.
Don't sell yourself short.
You're gonna have a
Even
third one soon.
Through the madness and misery you give us, we love it. We're masochists like that.
What? Oh no.
This is coming from a guy who's played Redux for multiple years.
I see. That explains.
Yeah. There's a reason why I would decided to be nice and to say, Tome was good. Tome was safe-ish.
Ish.
For the most part. For the
Tome
most
is
part.
like 95% safe.
Yeah. Tome is in the very beginning of the timeline and the most generous portion of the timeline. Trust me and the other player he is talking about had a whole sit down with Arcs here and went through the entire timeline.
Very nice.
It's a long timeline.
Graphoria is a very in-depth world with a lot of nooks, crannies, niches, little lore bits. It's ginormous. But anyway, we're in the middle of a session. So, as you all approach the building, you hear that of a small conversation emanating from inside. There are no doors or windows, but there are clear carvings of what are meant to be like a doorway and openings for windows. As inside, Urak, you are currently talking to that of the proprietress of this building, in your search. I mean, this was several years ago. I mean, I personally didn't interact with him much, but I remember seeing him with them. I think after they wrapped up their stuff around with me, they made their way further north over to Elranton, I believe.
As the proprietor says this, he rummages through his bag to find a torn and worn parchment that he thinks is a map.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
She goes and takes it over. Kind of looks confused for a moment as everyone else Would any of you guys go in while this conversation is happening, or are you all staying outside?
Bust down the door. No.
There is no door.
Mortis is going in, isn't he?
Leanna would
Yes.
find like the edge of an opening to this place and just like knock on it, and then say,
Excuse me. Is anyone here that can help us?
If there is no door, Mortis will walk in.
Okay.
Mortis
So,
is already
as
No door. This is mine now.
as the woman looks to the parchment you gave her, you of course hear the knocking of the crystal as some more people enter in to the building. Urak.
Mhm.
The woman kind of looks up for a moment, seeing the guests coming in. The rest of you, you see that of a what seems to be a fairy.
Hmm.
Bit shorter, standing at about 3'4". Quite short.
Mm-hmm.
As she looks up to each of you. Oh, more guests. Apologies. I'm currently trying to help this large fella here find someone. As she points over to Urak. Urak, why don't you go and describe what you look like?
So you see a 6'5" tall male, skin color of stone with deep black tattoos. He looks to be covered in a hide, a pretty much clothing made of hide. Kind of looks unkept, but it's put together enough. With a
There's a vague semblance of care.
with a big, yeah. And you see a very confused look on his face as he gives a very slow wave.
Leanna like waves to Urak, was it?
Indeed.
Waves to Urak, sees a small fairy, and is like,
You are very adorable. Can I hold you?
There's
Will not hold the person.
there's a brief moment in which the fairy's cheeks kind of flush up a little bit. Is it, excuse me?
yes, this is the effect of 19 charisma, and you too can experience it for the low price of $9.99.99.
I like the idea that you're imagining that she's flushing up because she's interested in what you're offering.
Isn't that rude?
What? I may be short, but I'm not a child.
But that doesn't make you any less adorable.
And that doesn't make you any less annoying. Can you shut up, please?
Oh no.
Leanna looks down, defeated, but acquiesces.
Okay, Leanna.
Urak, I'm so sorry I judged your people before. I thought you were all, not the brightest, but it seems that your title has been overthrown.
Depends on who you meet.
I'm gonna make an intelligence check to see if Leanna registers that insult.
Let's see.
Nope. That's a 6. Absolutely not.
Dang!
With or without guidance, still.
Just
Without guidance, because we haven't specified that. So Leanna hears that and is like,
I wonder what she means by that.
She just shakes her head as she looks to the paper and kind of circles a region above what is kind of resembling like one of the wizard towers. I imagine the artistic skill on this map would be comparable to that of a child's drawing.
Essentially, with how worn and torn it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is very weathered.
Mm-hmm. That way. As she hands the parchment back.
Thank you. I can. Okay. As he just starts to make his way out.
Actually, before you leave, Urek,
Yes.
you're quite strong, right? Strong, imposing.
In a sense.
Okay.
Would you say this? As he essentially, as you see from out of his armor, you just see the only thing that can really be described as a tide of small critters and insects cover his hand.
Just a swarm of bugs come out from his armor and cover his hand. Just, oh, no, please. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Could have done without
Reminds me of
seeing
the
that
day
in
I
my life.
woke up.
That's quite an interesting
What?
thing that's happening there.
Huh. I've never seen that before.
I like it. It seems really cool.
I will say, the minute you said that little comment, Mortis, the woman is now looking directly over at you.
I didn't even hear what you said.
What did Mortis say?
Martha said, reminds me of the day I woke up.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and now as she looks over, she just sees like half of his face, just ethereal and like
Notices
flowing
his-
hair.
You sleep in underbrush?
Mhm.
So, Felka, I think you might need to make sure that you speak up a little bit, because sometimes
Pardon? What's happening?
sometimes you're very quiet, that's all.
He's dead. He's dead. I killed him.
He's
Oh,
The
God.
man is becoming a fly rapidly.
What?
No.
Yes.
Either way.
So
Well, I was going to ask before hearing that comment from that, as she motions at Mortis.
They're
I was
Mortis.
going to ask that you make sure that this colorful group gets out of my hair once they're done asking whatever they need to ask.
She says colorful group. Leanna just looks at her hair.
I don't think she means your hair.
Making an intelligence check.
Mortis will just speak up.
Leanna looks to you as you say she's probably not talking about your hair, and says,
Nah, I don't know what else she could be talking about. It's definitely the hair.
That's the
Jeez.
way you see it, then.
just once I want her
I'll
to
go
roll
with
above a
it.
10 on an intelligence check.
He's not going to convince you this time. He's just going to go with
Well,
it.
Anyway,
Urak just
Look.
leans against the door. Like,
Just leans against the frame.
yeah, he just leans against the frame since now he's waiting.
Breaks
Mhm.
the whole thing breaks.
Either way, the fairy looks to each of you. So, all right, what are you doing over here? This is private property.
We are lost.
Yeah.
These two do not belong here. This one believes it is a prank.
Where are we?
Doesn't belong here. Like, what do you mean don't belong
Like-
here? They like running away from home? You down for
This one
magic, please?
believes someone pranked them and sent them to different dimension.
Yes, it was clearly a very well done and elaborate prank, but a prank nonetheless.
Case in point.
Yeah.
Uh,
What this
So,
guy said.
sorry. Okay. The thing mentioned dimension? Explain.
Yes. I'm definitely not from this place. Like, the place I come from. I lived in a city in the sky. This is definitely different from what I'm used to.
As you're saying this, she's slowly looking over to Urak, just super confused. Looking over, like pointing over to Yukito. It's like, can you believe what this guy's saying?
Oh,
Think
there is no Cloud City.
the undead.
Okay. Besides the fact that you must have hit your head very hard from whatever workplace accident you had, what about you? As she looks over to you, Liana.
Leanna's just smiling and waving at her. Then she kind of clears her throat and is like,
First off, I would like to apologize. I meant no offense by my comments earlier. But I am genuinely lost. I don't know how I ended up in that field. That very big field.
Yeah, it's massive. It spans like a good chunk of the continent. Where are you from? You have to be from Magicles, right? I mean, I doubt you're from Tides.
I don't know
It
what
wouldn't
either
make
of those
sense for you
mean.
to be from Dur.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense either.
I haven't heard of those places.
I don't understand any of the words you just said.
Where are you from?
I'm from a monastery of Selune in Faerun.
Hey, Urak.
Yeah.
Do you mind rolling me a Arcana check?
I can.
Are you good at Arcana?
The for that's a base roll. 14 total.
Okay, not bad.
Okay. So, Urak, you hearing that, Faerun, there is kind of something odd that kind of recollects in your mind of your people's history, of some of the odd peculiarities of how your people came to be.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, the progenitor of your people had come from another world, a world of runes. Apparently, having something to do with Fey magic. And I mean, this person just said they're from the world of Fey rune. Rather interesting.
Urak, now, he practically just now is not glaring, but like keeping an eye on
Leanna.
Keep an eye on
Keeping
Liana.
an eye on Leanne.
Stare.
Leanna sees you keeping an eye on her. She smiles and waves to you.
Hey.
Hi, you seem very nice.
Oh my. So,
Oh.
even though that we've yet to have too much happen this session, you're probably going to end sometime within the next half hour. Is that all right with you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't mind.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Wanted to be sure.
Whoa.
Session will probably end sometime within the next half hour.
That's it. Throw in the combat in the next half hour.
Okay.
We're probably not going to have a combat, I'm sorry to say.
Damn.
RP only stream.
If we ever happen to have one of these moments where players are not around, maybe we'll continue this adventure within the Graphorian setting.
Yay!
Do you remember the last time what happened with an RP only stream?
Is it bad if I say no?
Currently, so far, it's been going fairly well.
So far.
There are worse things that could have happened.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, besides the fact that I think you're all crazy, I don't think there's anything I could do to help you.
Oh,
I mean, I could point you back over to the city of Magicles, which I imagine you're probably from. Or if you happen to be a bit ritzier than I think you are, I'd suggest you make your way, about as far north as you can, get over to the city of Tides.
Oh.
Can I convince her that I'm not crazy?
I mean, you can try and roll me persuasion to
It has to be a nat 20.
Yes.
ever believe that you're genuinely from another world.
What would he have? What would my character have in his possession, like roleplay wise, like background story wise? I'm not sure if he would have anything.
Persuasion.
I think I'll just roll the persuasion. Let's see.
I mean, you are proficient in it, and it is your highest stat.
Can I put guidance on it too?
You just love having guidance up. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Let's see. I have total 20.
Dirty 20.
Not bad.
So she looks up and down as you kind of explain your case.
Eventually, by the end of it, she just gives a shrug.
Did she notice,
Okay,
like, I guess I haven't described my appearance at all, actually.
you
So
haven't.
He's
I was
got,
gonna.
like, this. Oh,
I was gonna say the reason I haven't asked is because I was wondering if you'd ever notice that you never like said anything. You never
I
did.
guess now I know. So he's got like this, almost like, I don't know how you would describe it. Kind of like almost otherworldly look to him. Like he's got like elf ears. His horns are like bluish. He has, I think he has, does he have, did I make him have, does he have like wings? He almost has like the devil wings, you could say. But he can't actually use them to fly. And he's in this robe, this white and blue robe. It's like a scholar type thing, like a student magic type. Like he goes to a magic school.
So with that, now that's finally been said, Urak, you also would have never seen anyone like Yukito ever. You've never seen anyone like him.
Urak would offer I could take them with me.
As you say that, Prius looks over and says, you know what? Yes, do that. Keep them with you and about as far away from me. Look, guy, I believe you that you're from some other world. You do your thing. But I'm just going to be honest. I don't care.
Oh no.
You know, you're likely not going to ever afford business with me, and I have to continue working on this project that was given to me by some crazy metal man, from a few years ago. So that should be fun.
It certainly sounds fun.
She slowly turns to you, Leanna, an eye twitching.
Leanna is just smiling the whole time. She sees nothing wrong with what she said. And she also kind of doesn't understand the sarcasm here.
Damn, I'm gonna check if I took the charm spell. I don't think I took it. Did I? Oh, I do have charm.
Yeah. If I had said that before I rolled, then maybe she would have.
Well, we should probably get going.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So, have a wonderful time. Stay safe. As he just quickly leaves.
She looks to you, Urak, with like a small smile. It's like, all right, good luck in your search. And the minute she's done, she looks to the rest of you with contempt.
Mortis quickly ushers Liana and I forgot his name already. Dang.
Yukiko.
Yukito.
Right. Yukito and Liana out.
As she's being ushered out, Leanna waves and says,
Bye, Miss Fairy. It was really nice meeting you.
After you guys leave, say,
She
note to
wasn't
self,
of any help.
make a banned from purchasing list.
As everyone's now outside, sorry about that. was just trying to say that now that we're all outside, I'm hearing myself twice.
Well, that's odd.
I don't hear anything.
Twice. Wait, is it on someone's side?
Oh. Okay, never mind. The stream freaking pulled up again.
You had
Oh.
you had it unmuted.
Yeah, it went from unmuted. I went from muted to unmuted. Now it's
There we go.
Duplicating.
So, everyone's outside. Urak just kind of like straightens his back as you hear his back pop as he clears his throat. Gosh, that's hard to keep up with. Oh. All right. It's hard being dumb.
I'm sorry, did you say it's hard being dumb?
Yes.
Leanna, upon hearing that, says,
Oh, I understand completely. I get told that I'm pretty lightheaded. Or airheaded? A lot. Whatever the correct term is.
Right. So, that was all an act?
Trying to keep up appearances. It's no thanks to my tribesmen.
Ah, I see.
I can't say I understand, but if you have your reasons, you have your reasons.
I would go over the whole culture, yada yada, but I don't. So we're going this way as he points into a direction that he thinks is
pointing
the
into
proper
a
direction.
Right. She said you were gonna guide us, right?
Yes.
Just
As he then starts walking and he says, "Now I guide."
What a,
I guess
what a
we're
wondrous
following.
time.
Let's go, Leanna. Then I'm guessing Mortis is following.
I'm right behind you.
The only thing you really see him do for a few minutes is just scratch his head vigorously with a very pained look on his face, like he's thinking really hard.
Are you sure you know where you're going?
Slightly distracted by your stories, trying to make sense.
I think it makes perfect sense. We were sent to another world, both of us, as a prank.
Stupidest reason ever.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh no. She's deluded.
time for another intelligence check. That's a 7.
I love these rolls.
And no.
Yeah. Maybe it could have been a prank. For all we know.
All right.
Well, why we're here. We don't know where we are.
Leanna's refusal to accept this as anything but a prank is affecting Yukito.
It's infectious. So, a prank is putting vines in one's shoes to make them trip and fall. Not planar or whatever transportation.
I fail to see the difference. It's, let me think. The purpose of a prank is to mess with somebody, their senses or otherwise. And this is a pretty good messing on my part. Or would it be on the prankster's part?
A prank is to be funny
I find this
or humiliating.
This doesn't seem very funny. I've been struggling just to get by, to find food.
I think finding food
Ew.
was fine. Cooking it wasn't so much your strong suit. No offense.
I am bad at cooking.
I sent a thing to someone.
Oh.
You see what I mean, right? Dave?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Not worrying about it.
Good.
So he essentially pretty much what he does is he takes out the map and tries to get a sense of if they are going in the correct direction. As he has a kind of almost like, you know, the face that you make when you have a light bulb go up in your head, like you remembered something.
Ah.
Yeah. So what do you want me to roll to make sure?
So you're trying to figure out what direction you're going?
Yes.
Direct.
So that would be a survival check, please.
Will you survive?
Survival check. Survive. Are you good at surviving?
Oh no. Well, I mean, at least I have high survival. 11.
11 total. Lovely.
Yeah, 11 total. I rolled a 3.
Go back to the ferry.
You rolled
So
a 3.
you look around for a moment. You suddenly you're realizing you have a method to try and figure out which direction is up on your little map that you've been making. As you recall that bit of advice you got about the sun. You got this advice from this wizardly fella like a long time ago, like a good half an hour ago. Like it was ages past. But they mentioned something about the sun like being north. Probably.
He looks up.
You look up at the sun. It is currently in a direction. That direction is probably north.
Surely. Oh no.
As he shrugs and now goes that direction.
You completely turn around from the previous direction you were going.
Does
Go back to the ferry.
Leanna get the sense that we're heading the right way?
Well, let me ask you, do you want to make a survival check to see if you can figure out which direction is north?
Sure, why not? Leanna's got 14 wisdom. I can justify that.
I believe in you.
You really shouldn't. She's been rolling bad this whole time.
Roll me a survival check.
Okay.
Never mind, she's a god!
Oh.
Dirty
My
20.
belief, it worked.
Dirty 20, let's go.
20.
My belief worked.
Oh. Okay.
So what was the roll? Sorry, I wasn't.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Wow. All
I
right.
got an 18 plus my
Ooh.
2 survival.
Nice.
So, Leanna, just kind of looking around, following the sun, you would know that currently you would be heading to the west.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
If you are
Oh.
following the direction that the sun is setting. You're not sure if this is the direction you're supposed to be going, but you know that you're heading west currently.
So Leanna will pipe up and be like,
So, are we supposed to be heading west? Is that the right direction?
As soon as you say west, he like stops with his leg out, ready to take a next step. As he looks down at the compass to see where on the little thing is where it says west. He goes.
Just
He-
remembering to read his compass that he has.
Yes.
Well, every map has that little thing in the corner.
That's called an atlas.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Atlas.
Mm-hmm. As you look to your atlas, west is to the left.
Then he takes a second and then course corrects.
Turns in 90 degrees, like pivots on the one foot that's still on the ground.
More like hops 90 degrees.
Hops 90 degrees.
And then starts walking.
Oh.
Man is
It's
Zoro
way.
over here. He'll find his way to the battle eventually.
Akite no yume wo kaki atsume.
Finds himself in 3 wrong animes before it gets to the correct destination.
Can you imagine? You try and find your way to a destination. You end up in 3 different anime-style fights before getting to your destination, which ends up just being like groceries.
Yeah.
Man, it's always such a hassle for me to go and get the buy one get one and pork cutlets.
If only I was Saitama.
If only.
If only.
Either way.
Yeah.
So, with that, you guys start actually heading in the correct direction.
Nice. Saved.
No thanks to Leanna.
Actually saved.
Who would have guessed?
The one
But,
the one who is directionally
the shark.
challenged, course corrected.
That's probably the best part, though.
mhm. So, as you go and make your way north, this is going to be another several days.
Mm.
Do each of you mind rolling me survival? With Urek, do you mind rolling me survival at advantage, considering you've lived off the land for quite some time?
Survival.
What?
Total.
I got a nat 20.
What?
Oh.
20?
Wow.
22?
Sweet.
What does he get with 22? Nat 20?
We'll see about that in a minute.
Do we get magical food?
No.
That's Leanna's secret. She will always roll low for anything intelligence based, but as soon as it comes to actually surviving, somehow she's amazing.
Just instinctually, she's ready.
Her
got
maternal
14.
instinct kicks into overdrive.
Do we still have
The-
Mortis?
Okay.
Oh, so I have to make a roll?
You don't need to.
Right.
You can if you wish.
Oh,
Total 23 for me.
23, lovely. What about Yukito?
I got total 14.
14, 23, nat 20.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Net 20
So with those general stats,
Mm.
Urak kind of working with Leanna, you guys managed to stake out a hunt on a bit of a rare beast known rather simply as a wheat hopper.
Wheat hopper.
This strange little critter is like a odd combination of a like an iguana and a grasshopper.
Mm.
Oh. Funky looking.
Yeah, these odd critters usually never get found, mostly due to the fact that while they can hop around in the wheat fields, these wheat fields are, grow so tall and are so thick, no one's usually ever out here to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't tend to live anywhere near civilization. So it's a tad rare to ever see them, much less catch one to eat it. But with some sharp eyes from Liana and your generally just good hunting capabilities, you actually managed to hunt down 3 of these things.
Woo!
Meaning that you all will have enough food for the entire trip.
Nice.
Sweet.
The rare food.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what bonuses it gives.
What do you think this is? A JRPG? There's no food bonuses here.
Food.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. But
Certified Final Fantasy 15 moment.
Actually. So.
so either way, with that, you guys, continue traveling for about a week until eventually, the large, just overgrown wheat walls just suddenly stop to this massive clearing with a small village at its center. Urak, do you mind rolling me a history check?
Sure.
History. Oh no. Intelligence.
Intelligence, you got it.
Are you good at
With advantage or with not?
Likely not advantage in this situation.
5.
5 total.
No.
You have a feeling you were supposed to remember something about this place? You don't remember what that is. You just remember that you were supposed to remember something about this.
What could it have been?
Much like Leanna, no thoughts, head empty.
As he just kind of like shrugged as he thinks, wasn't important. Would have remembered.
I would have remembered if it was important.
Yeah.
So, with that from the sound of things, you're all heading into the village?
Yep.
Lovely.
So, before we head into the village, I will use beast sense.
Ooh. What does that do?
Beast?
Touch a willing beast. For the duration, you can perceive through the beast senses as well as your own. When perceiving through the beast senses, you benefit from any special senses it has. So I'm going to use my an insect on my person.
Ooh. Lovely.
And use that to pretty much get a overlook.
Okay. So we'll say that you use your beast sense on a beetle.
Okay.
As the beetle goes and buzzes off of your hand, so it's just kind of flying through the air. You start getting a general aerial look of the town. It's very small, kind of well kept together. There's only a good 5 buildings here, with one of them being a proper farm. It's got that of a fenced-in area that you can see some cattle kind of just idly walking about, with a visible old man kind of sitting on a front porch, idly rocking in a rocking chair. At his side, a small, metal tin of some kind.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say banjo.
I know.
So, wait, okay.
The other buildings that are there do not seem particularly interesting, which is why I only mentioned the farm.
Any other people that seem, interesting?
Okay. I mean, in terms of other people, you would see one other visible person. This one just being a woman currently making their way over to what looks like a somewhat crumbled-in well.
Oh. Okay. So...
Actually, do you mind rolling me a perception check?
Perceive.
18 total.
Okay.
It is only after noticing all this stuff that you begin to realize just how eerily quiet it is here.
Sus.
It's only just dawned on you that you stopped hearing the rustling of the wheat, that's been all around you. You can feel, the wind on your face, but you do not hear it rustling anything.
If that's the case, could I... Could I, perchance, with this, try to get a feel for the area and trying to pretty much get a general grasp on the what might be causing this eerie feeling? Because you said there were how many houses again? 5?
There's 5. Yeah, there's 5 buildings here.
5 buildings, but only 2 people.
Yeah, that you can see. Yeah.
So, is there something I might be able to roll?
Well, before I start saying something about that, everyone else, I know Mortis is currently, predisposed, kinda. Yukito, what are you doing now that you've, wandered into this space, just outside of the town?
Just outside. We're still at the entrance.
Yeah, you just got past, the large wheat fields. You're currently standing on the outskirts of this very small village.
Yes, he's gonna notice, I guess, Uruk doing his thing with the beetle. He's gonna go ask him, Are you checking the lay of the land?
As he kind of snaps out of, yes.
Anything
Sorry.
anything significant here?
Couple things. Don't see a lot of people. He's really quiet. Very. One building looks unique. It's a farm.
As Urak mentions it being quiet, you would subsequently notice just how quiet it got the minute you stepped into the town's borders.
Yeah. I don't hear anything. It all the weed blowing. That's strange.
Leanna?
Leanna's just walking in.
She's going in.
I love her personality so much. Just goes and does. I love the chaos.
No thoughts beforehand. Just okay.
No.
Yeah, here's town.
She will make a perception check as she's going in just to see if she notices anything of note.
I'll allow it, but don't start making comments on I'm going to do this check for said thing.
Oh,
True.
right. My bad. I meant to say if allowed, she would make a perception check.
It's better.
My bad. I was a bit lost in the comedy of the moment.
Let's see that check.
It's probably not going to be high. 12?
12 total?
Yeah.
I mean, it would take you a bit longer than everyone else, but you would begin to notice just how quiet it is.
So, what's going on?
I'm just going to roll another intelligence check.
11.
Well, at least she thinks the quiet is weird this time.
It's above a 10.
It's above a 10
that's
finally.
unnatural.
True.
It is above a 10.
She does register something.
Finally, she can
does have a brain cell.
finally she can comprehend the weirdness of the situation at hand. I was
Of
fully
course, it has to get weird first.
I was fully prepared for if she got lower than a 10 for her to just be like,
Everyone must be sleeping.
I mean, it would explain.
Man, these towns have been so
Sort of.
quiet lately. This world is really quiet.
No wind, no people, no sound.
And they must love reading in this world.
Hmm.
It's so quiet.
So.
But either way, with Liana just walking into town, Urak, Yukiko, Mortis, what are you doing as you see Liana just going into town?
What's Mortis doing?
I will finally pull out my greater sword.
The greatest sword.
okay.
Yes.
This long
be
way
prepared.
hander comes out.
Oh yeah, that is something I should probably do. I wanted to say, if Leanna is actually finding this situation familiar, or not familiar, what am I saying? Weird. That's the word. I think I'm getting too in character for that.
Deja vu.
Leanna
pull
finds the
out the
situation
same
weird
sword.
as she will place hand on greatsword that is on her back, just kind of
And it's
in
still on-
preparation.
it's already on fire.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So uh jeez.
Hmm.
By the way, Urak,
Oh yeah.
you've just seen Liana just continue walking into the town,
Mm-hmm.
and subsequently Mortis has gone and prepared himself by pulling out their greater sword.
The great.
As he kind of as he drinks in the information, he stands up. He rummages in his bag to bring out his staff.
Hmm.
Wait, what? I guess Yuki Tomoe's looking at he's confused.
He go ahead.
Oh, are we preparing for combat?
I need a new walking stick.
Ah, I see.
A new
Why is-
walking stick.
Why is Mortis pulling out this big long sword?
It is also walking stick.
Yeah,
The sharp stick.
he's thinking about Liana.
I see nothing wrong with
Very
this with
sharp
that statement.
walking stick.
He's
Someone
just gonna
brings
go
that
with
up.
it now based on what he's heard from Liana.
Someone pulls out a bow. It is my
He's
ranged
gonna
walking
think
stick.
people act that way now.
This
I
is my
mean,
walking stick that I launch miniature walking sticks.
That's not a walking stick, but
I mean,
sure,
that's
I'll believe it.
Now
that's
you,
what Killy uses. He does have a ranged walking stick.
Is Mortis is he turning the sway hander the other side like a walking stick?
Yes. If he were to walk with it, he'd just be dragging it along.
Oh, this is great.
This is
I miss
fantastic.
this.
I guess it is a walking stick.
But either way,
Yeah.
you all start walking into town. Huh?
Because my beast sense is a ritual, it would have been broken.
Okay. So you no longer sense through your beetle friend. Now they're just buzzing about.
I would motion, like raise up my hand, like you would, how you would call, like have a bird sit on it, and he to
Mhm.
have him come back.
Mhm. The beetle comes back. Would the beetle have a name?
Oh,
Jeremy.
Well played, sir. Well played. Clever.
I try to be.
I see.
Good reference. Anyway,
You're welcome.
besides being reunited with Jeremy the beetle, him and his little blue carapace
Yeah.
skitters back into your armor.
Oh.
You continue on your way.
Do we
Liana,
find
since you are the furthest along,
Oh joy.
you go and to make your way, eventually coming up to the entrance of this large farm. the most imposing building here.
Mm.
On a sort of front porch, there is that of an old man, kind of idly rocking back and forth, a large farmer's hat atop their head, and a metal tin at their side. With the way their hat is situated, you can't really get a good look at their face.
Excuse me, sir. Are you awake?
As you say this, they stop rocking. After a moment, they begin to slowly look up. As you get a look at them, the clothes they wear is like that of typical farmer's attire, though rather beat up and old. Various stains can be seen across their surface, with what seems like was maybe overalls at one point that have long since kind of degraded into some slightly baggy pants. Eventually, you get a look at their faces. They are indeed quite old, though on the sides of their head, you see they have pointed ears like that of an elf.
Oh.
With one quick move of their arm, they kind of click this little, it seems like a button in their sleeve, as a walking cane suddenly extends from the shirt onto the ground as they shakily get up. Well now, we have a visitor. We don't really get visitors around here. On account of the general publicity ban and the limitations on folks walking in here. But you must have some official business.
No, I'm just lost. We're lost.
She says, like turning back the gesture in the direction of her companions.
As you go and motion back to your companions, they're a good bit a ways from you since you got such a head start compared to them.
Mm-hmm.
But after a moment, the rest of you do arrive, seeing this man. Wow, there's quite a lot of you. I don't think we've ever had so many all at once, except maybe that one time a few years ago. Though that was an accident back then. Good memories, good memories.
Well, do you think you'd be able to help us?
Help you? What am I helping with?
Well, it would seem that somebody sent us to another world, perhaps? As a practical joke, it's a bit extreme, but I find it funny.
A practical joke. Yes, it could be a joke.
No.
There's a moment as the old man is kind of looking to you all before eventually looking to you, Urak. Kind of raises an eyebrow. Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Oh.
Me looking for tribemen. A little taller than me.
Oh, right. Yeah, you look just like one of those guys that was here a few years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, big, strong guy. Wasn't too bright though. He went and broke a hole in my wall. I got it repaired since then, but yeah, he was rather upset.
apologized in his stead.
He said something about being too confused by Metal Man. I didn't quite understand what he meant by that. But, I mean, regardless, it's fixed now. So, you want my help in telling you how you got here? As he looks back over to you, Liana.
More like help, getting back across the worlds?
You say that, and it, while there was once suddenly a man saying before you, there's just suddenly no thoughts behind those eyes.
I'm gonna make
Good
an
job.
I'm gonna make an intelligence
You
check for
killed him.
Leanna.
Oh, you killed him.
Okay, we're making
11.
progress. We're making progress.
11 again.
So Leanna kind of turns back to the group after taking more time to think.
Guys, I'm getting really worried. If I don't get back to the monastery soon, I'm gonna get really scolded for not doing all my chores.
I think that'll be least of worries.
Right.
I mean,
I
it's
don't
kind of my
think any
biggest
of-
worry right now. The monastery's my home. It's where everything I care about is. So, if I can't get home, then on top of not having a home anymore, I also would be in trouble if I ever did get back. It's kind of a lose-lose if you think about it.
Biggest worry is if you get stuck.
Get stuck.
But
Hmm.
wouldn't the fact that we're
So-
in another room, in another world, count as us being stuck already?
So, as you're saying this, you had mentioned, other side of the world earlier. Has Urak, this kind of strikes you as, throughout your time living and just kind of being around, there isn't like an other side to the world. You got, the ground, and then you have the edge of the world where there's a bunch of water. And the water never ends. So, that's the edge of the world. This, that makes even less sense.
We're gonna Pirates of the Caribbean this shit.
Where's the ship?
We are now going to become Columbus.
Time to discover the Indies and Japan.
Only to accidentally find America.
Prepare to get colonized.
Welcome to Graphoria. Prepare to be colonized.
What did Liana just say?
Sorry, Quetzalcoatl.
Oh, Deity.
Yeah.
The current Arc and Redux be like.
Yo, you right though.
Welcome to Graphoria. Prepare to be colonized.
Oh no.
It's welcome to Graphoria. For Planet go yoink.
What?
There's some wild stuff
Yoink.
going on in Redux. You guys don't need to worry.
Oh no.
Either way. I'm sorry, lass. I'm not quite sure I could help you with your world's problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of some of our old legendary figures of the past being from other worlds, but I mean, I've never really thought that such a thing was real.
Well, then I guess we'll just have to keep looking until we find someone who can help.
Magic man.
I mean, I guess a magic man could probably help you, but I mean, if anything, you could probably work with some of the folks over at the City of Tides. There's a lot of the more fancy rich folks down that way. You probably also find a lot more competent historians that way too. I'm sure you could find someone who could help you out over there.
That sounds like a very promising lead. How far away is that?
A good 3 weeks travel. And we're going to end the session there.
I was gonna say, Urak pulls out map and just says where.
3 more weeks? It took 3 weeks just to get here.
Yeah, practically.
But this time in the opposite direction.
That'd be funny. Turns out it was right next to the town you were just at.
Yeah, that would happen with Leanna leading the way.
Actually, no. Technically, this old man would be wrong. It'd be an even longer trip than that.
Wait, wouldn't it be like a proper 2-month trip? If I'm remembering my Graphorian geology correctly.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is a 2-month trip.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Towns.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording here. Thank you all so much for watching, if indeed you have. Take care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.